Am I the asshole for firing my babysitter? I'm a single mom to 3 girls, Sophie, 2, Addie, 4, and Evie, 8. Their dad was in the military and passed when I was pregnant with Sophie. I just got a new job that mostly aligns with the kids' school, daycare schedule, but I work late on Wednesday nights. A friend of mine is going through a divorce and her ex-husband is being difficult about child support, so I asked her to babysit on Wednesday nights. In my opinion, the job is pretty simple. She gets there at 6, dinner is at 6:30, always mac and cheese. I make the sauce before she gets there, so she just has to boil the pasta and add the sauce. After dinner they get to play until 7:15. They each get a melatonin gummy. They watch Bluey until 7:45. Then everyone uses the bathroom, brushes their teeth, and goes to bed. All of the girls share a room, their pajamas and comfort items are laid out for them, and I have a stack of books out for bedtime stories. Everyone gets tucked in, then sitter reads 3-4 stories until everyone's asleep. Evie occasionally has a hard time falling asleep, so I told the sitter if she's not asleep by the 4th story, sitting on her bed and rubbing her back tends to get her to sleep within a few minutes. Sitter turns off the lights, turns on the night light and sound machine, and gets to hang out on the couch until I get home. I have all 3 girls sharing a room for a reason. Evie has anxiety and is scared to sleep alone. My younger 2 feel safer when their big sister is sleeping next to them. Putting the 3 of them together is the best way to get everyone to sleep. She knows she can get her own room whenever she wants, but it's not something I will force on her. Last Wednesday I guess Evie wasn't sleeping and kept insisting on more stories. My friend told her to lay down quietly or sleep in the guest room, and Evie started to cry. My friend picked her up, put her in the guest room, and stayed in front of the door to the girls' room to prevent her from going back to bed. When I got home close to midnight, Evie was still awake and was crying her eyes out. I didn't find out what happened until the next morning. When my friend confirmed what happened and called it discipline, I told her she wasn't getting paid for that night and would no longer be taking care of my kids. Now she's saying I'm overreacting and my kids are spoiled and have behavior problems. I have mutual friends saying I'm screwing her over a temper tantrum and saying the money I pay her is her entire grocery budget. Now I'm wondering if not paying her for Wednesday and firing her was an overreaction. You established a bedtime protocol that works for you and your girls, and you asked the babysitter to follow it. She deviated from it and is unapologetic about it, so any reasonable person would fire her. That having been said, you should pay her for the hours that she worked. Holy fuck, NTA, I would be absolutely livid if someone did this shit to my kid. That said, 8 is pretty old to still be needing so much attention at bedtime. Melatonin gummies plus 4 stories plus indefinite back rubs? Either her bedtime is way too early, I'm guessing because she shares the room with littles, or she's got some sleep problems. Or this is how I find out my kid is just a weirdo for going to sleep by himself, lol. Edit. Even if someone does a shitty job, they still get paid for doing the job. Withholding the money after that was going too far. Not paying her was an overreaction. Firing her was not. You should pay her. You should pay her for the time she worked. But absolutely not the asshole for firing her, for not following your clear instructions, not to mention for insisting, later, that her way is better. You're not the asshole for firing her, but you should pay her for watching them that night. She did take care of them, even though she messed up royally by causing Evie unneeded stress. As a mom, I would be absolutely livid if I found out my sitter disciplined my child like that. It's not her place to do that. The better solution would have been to just have Evie sit on the couch with her until you got home. She probably would have fallen asleep on the couch and then you could have handled it when you got home. Isolating Evie in a separate room was not the right choice, since that isn't her normal routine and she has anxiety. You are the asshole for giving your kids melatonin and then letting them watch TV afterward. Am I the asshole for saying no to babysitting after my sister insulted my job? My sister asked me to watch her 3 kids last weekend so she could go to a wedding. I work from home and had a project deadline that same day, but I was still willing to rearrange my schedule to help her out. When I told her I just need a quiet space for a few hours to get my work done while watching the kids, she laughed and said my online job isn't real work and that I sit around all day. That comment really bothered me because I work hard and pay all my own bills. I told her if she didn't respect what I do, then I wouldn't be comfortable helping. She called me selfish and hung up. Now my parents are upset because she had to skip the wedding, but I feel like I was doing her a favor and she was the one who ruined it with the insults. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Tell your parents they can watch the kids if they're so upset. There is no need to skip the wedding. She can pay a babysitter like a normal person. If your parents have a problem with it, they can babysit. Don't babysit again since she doesn't respect you or your job. Not the asshole. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, feels appropriate here. Leading with an insult isn't really the best way to ask someone for a favor. Not the asshole for turning her down. Take back your control. No more babysitting unless it's for someone who's paying you. People make good money doing that. You saved her a fortune. Hope she enjoyed it while it lasted. Not the asshole. I don't know why it's so hard to understand that working from home is working, not sitting around getting paid to scroll wastebook. Then again, it's probably indicating what these folk would do if they ever got a W@H job. Am I the asshole for letting my fiancé uninvite his sister to our wedding? I 25, met my now fiancé, 26 5 years ago and we started dating really quick. A year into our relationship we met each other's families. My family loves him because of how he treats me. He's honestly the most wonderful guy. His family also likes me. The only person I've really had problems with is his older sister, 29. See, ever since I've met his family his sister has always had a problem with my weight. I've always been on the bigger side and for the longest time, it took a really long time to gain some self-confidence. So meeting his family his sister has always made some remarks about how I should do something about my weight, even going as far as to directly tell I'm too ugly and fat for her brother that she doesn't know why he would settle for less. My fiancé never heard any of these things because 1, she's always been good at hiding her disgust of me from him and 2, I never told him because I didn't want to cause trouble between them. He adores his sister. Well, we're getting married in 3 months and 2 weeks ago I finally found my dream dress. I went to my fitting with my mother, future mother-in-law and sister-in-law and as my mother and mother-in-law were gushing at how perfect the dress was for me sister was looking at me with what can only be described as disgust. Then she went on a long rant about how I would of course settle for less because nothing good would actually fit me. She went on to detail everything that was wrong with me and how I looked and even with both my mom and hers trying to stop her she did not stop only got worse with her little crash out. It got to a point where I had to stop everything and just leave. Before I even got home my mother had already called my fiancé and told him what happened so understandably he was furious. He sat me down and asked me about it and for the first time in 4 years I told him everything. We ended up spending the rest of the day crying with him profusely apologizing for never noticing and he promised to fix it. What I didn't expect was him waking up the next morning and deciding to uninvite his sister to our wedding. His exact words were, "A wedding is a celebration of love between the bride and groom and the people who go to celebrate them." He said that since she clearly cannot be happy for us, she can save both her time and money and just not go and that was it. I didn't expect it and when I asked him why he would do that he told me that yes he loves his sister will continue to do so but he will not compromise my day and my happiness just because his sister is small-minded. I had no problem with that. His family however have all called me to apologize on her behalf and ask him to reconsider. At first I refused but now after his mother called me to tell me that I'm being a selfish witch and I'm already tearing her family apart. His mother witnessed sister belittle you at your wedding dress appointment and you're the witch? You have nothing to apologize for. She will only do the same at the wedding, if invited, not the asshole. This family sounds horrible. Why is mother-in-law coming to you to call you hateful? You're not the one who uninvited sister and you're not the one who was hateful. But somehow it's your fault? Direct your mother-in-law to talk to her son and her own daughter and sort the mess out. They may come to you with an apology and a resolution. Edit to add your fiancé sounds like a stand-up guy. Next time don't hide stuff from him so that he can help you resolve things. You deserve his support, no point hiding stuff to protect him, it comes out anyways. Excuse me? Your mother-in-law sat there and watched your sister-in-law disrespect you, and she said you're a selfish witch? So would that make her ugly daughter? Tell your future monster-in-law that her daughter's behavior over several years is tearing her family apart, not you. Also, this is your husband's decision, not yours. You support him but at the end of the day it is his decision. And I agree with the decision. Your future monster-in-law is only looking at saving face with the extended family. She really doesn't care about her daughter's negative behavior on the negative effect it has caused. If I was a betting man, I would say the daughter most likely voiced her own opinions about you to the monster-in-law. The continued behavior would be indicative that the monster-in-law cares more about the daughter than her sons and your relationship. Not the asshole. First of all, your fiancé is worth his weight in gold. He did the exact right thing. Second, note who didn't call to apologize. Until she does, no one should reconsider anything. Because she likes bullying you and you can bet that she will take some shots at the wedding and reception. As for your mother-in-law I can see where the sister gets it from. Her first reaction was to blame the victim. Do not listen to the mother-in-law you are not tearing the family apart. The family is doing it to itself be protecting a bully. And your fiancé needs to get his mother online to make sure she doesn't act up at the wedding either. So, why are they calling you? He's the one who uninvited her, they should be calling him. And you should tell them that. I was perfectly happy to suck it up and ignore her insults and awful behavior. Just like I have been doing for the past 4 years, but Billy put his foot down. He decided that my happiness and peace on our wedding day was more important than including a bully. So if you think that she should be allowed to come to our wedding after spewing nothing but hate and fat-shaming me for 4 years, you should take it up with him. It was his decision to protect me from her, and it is 100% up to him whether or not to include her. I completely support his decision either way. Gotta say, your future husband rocks. Am I the asshole for taking the last seat at a bar? I decided to go to a bar tonight where they do serve dinner and have tables for dining. As I walked up I didn't see any seats at the bar since I was as a solo dinner. But I asked the hostess if there were any seats at the bar. She said there are 9 seats but she only sees 8 people seated, so if I find a seat it's mine. I walk up, and I find that additional seat, but as I sit I'm cheek to cheek with the people next to me. There are 2 guys to my right, they don't complain. I have a gal and a man to my right. The girl complains that my hips are touching her hips. I respond by saying it's the only open seat. I'd rather take this solo bar seat than take a table that could possibly seat 4. She wasn't happy with it. Her date explains they're on a date. I just ignored since I was in my seat and they were in theirs. As a gentleman he swapped seats but made sure to sit wide with his shoulder and elbow in my space. I didn't react. I ordered my food. Soon 2 seats next to the guys to the right open up, so they scooted and so did I. But was I the asshole for sitting down in the first place? Not the asshole, they don't understand how bars work. In Ta, why was he taking his date to a bar top instead of a table or booth? That's on them. We're on a date. Kind of shitty not to get a table for a date, bruh. Not the asshole. You handled it properly. Bars are first come first served seating. You only have claim to your bar stool. If you want extra space, get a table. The only asshole here is the bar for cramming more seats in than there is space to sit people. Not the asshole. An open seat is an open seat. Both of them are an off or making a big deal out of it. Especially the guy for trying to intimidate you.